So let's talk a little bit about how you told me your faith took a hit and how you really could not rely on that. And when I do these interviews, it's kind of 50-50. It's like some people really lean into that and that's what gets them through.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes it's just like, no, I don't get it. I don't get you, God. I don't understand why. And I can't.
Yeah, so I will preface this with I'm not the most religious person. However, I do believe in God. I was raised to believe in God, and so I always have.
Mm-hmm.
I really, when my husband was diagnosed, I think that was kind of the first bit of questioning for me, because when I think about him, I think about the most humble and selfless person that I've ever met in life. And everyone who's ever encountered him, from grade school through his time in the military to his time beyond the military, every single person has always said the exact same thing. So when he was initially diagnosed, I didn't understand why this was happening to him. And so that was my first bit of questioning. For the most part, he handled his initial treatment well, and we got him to remission. And then I went back and I started to say, I was thanking God, like, thank you for, bringing my husband through this. When he relapsed and had to go into the hospital, I started questioning again. When he passed, I was just angry. I didn't understand. I'm to this day, I still have questions that I know I will never get answers to, but I just couldn't understand why a man who did everything right, who loved his wife wholly and unconditionally, everything he did in life was with me and our two children in mind. He never made a move without first considering us.
Yeah.
And so, I started wondering, how can a person like him have his life taken at 38 years old when there are so many people out there who are nothing like him? They just cause pain and misery everywhere they go. And yet they are still roaming this earth. So that for me did not make sense. And again, I was so angry that I did not turn to God. I didn't, because I couldn't reconcile in my mind how a God could allow this to happen.
I know.
And so I do have family members who still wholly and fully believed that you have to pray, you have to go back to God, you have to rely on God, he will get you through this. And in that moment, I couldn't see that. I couldn't fathom going to God when all the prayers that I had done and all the prayers that everyone else, our friends and family and anyone else who heard about his story, that this would ultimately be the outcome. What were we praying for if this was where we were to be led? Those were my questions. It's been 11 weeks now since my husband passed. So 11 weeks in the hospital fighting, and 11 weeks now that he's been gone. In this time, I can say I've let go of some of that anger.
Oh, that's good.
I have let go of some of that resentment. I am not where I would like to be. I'm still working on that. But I'm trying to find my way back to this peaceful existence, and where I can look to God to help guide me and my children on the path where we are supposed to be. Again, I'm not where I need to be. I fully recognize that. And it's work. It's work. It's a work in progress, but I'm making my way there, and I have released a lot of that anger.
That's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I know when we talked about this the other day, it was a very long time before I could just even come to terms with, I don't know, but there was things that people would say to me, like you said, people would say things like, "Well, God has a plan," and
Oh,
oh, girl,
yeah.
don't tell me that.
Right, because in my
Don't tell,
mind, I'm thinking a plan, like that's the plan is to
don't tell me
take
that's the plan.
my husband away from me at 36. I'm 36 years old. To take my husband away at 36, to take my children's father away from them at 14 and 10 years old. That's the plan. Like, that one really rubbed me the wrong way. And I
Oh yeah,
didn't want to lash out at people. So I would just
no,
nod my head like,
yeah,
okay.
no,
Um, no, but I just I couldn't come to grips with this is the plan. Like, this is
yeah,
not a very good plan.
no,
That was what was swirling through my mind. I
yeah,
don't like this plan.
like things to not say to a widow.
Correct.
Do not say that to me. I don't want to
Right.
hear it. Oh my gosh.